The HAWKER Hunter is arguably the most beautiful jet fighter ever designed. Simon set me the challenge of making the HAWKER Hunter from the Matchbox kit in 1/72nd scale. See how I got on right here on Gary's Stuff. Hi, I'm Gary. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today is the first build in the Matchbox challenge. Now, Simon John has started sending me a series of Matchbox kits. The only thing I have to do is make them for the channel. This is the very first one he sent, the HAWKER Hunter in 1/72nd scale, which I'm going to make as the two-seat T7 trainer. The reason for that is it's an aircraft I flew in as a passenger something over 40 years ago. Now, if you like the video, and I hope you do, please remember, give it the old imperial thumbs up on the like button below there, because every like counts. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, you'll be notified of all my future content, and it won't cost you a penny, and you'll be supporting the channel. Now, if you'd like to make a bit more concrete contribution to the channel, you can do that through Super Thanks, by becoming a channel member, or by using any of my online affiliate programs. So let's make a start and build this HAWKER Hunter in 1/72nd scale from Matchbox. Okay, looking at the cockpit here, it comes in two halves. There's a cockpit for the single seater, there's a separate cockpit here for the two-seater. This is the two-seater. So what I've done is I've painted the interior edges in here black, painted the instrument panel black. What I've done is I've just roughed in some instruments, I've just sort of dabbed on some white, then dabbed on some black on top. They don't look amazing, but do you know what? Looking through the canopy, they're not going to look amazing anyway. So you can, of course, use spare decals off decal sheets and whatever for that sort of thing. What I have done, and it probably won't show up, but I have done just because I remember it, these 4 red dots here, these represent the ejection seat safety tabs. There are 4 of them, and the last one that has to be taken out is the one on the pull handle between your legs. So you have to pull that out and pop it onto the holder on the side here, and then indicate to the crew member outside that you have 4 tags, and your ejection seat is therefore fully armed before you go flying. So, right, we do have to put some weights in, and we have to put in 20 grams. So that's I use these 5-gram bicycle weights. Put in a couple here, and I'll maybe put in a couple at the back here as well. Hope that all adds up to the required 20 grams. There are 2 crew figures that sit on here that I've pre-painted. It's relatively basic paint, so it's all over green. Flying suit, olive green. Life jacket, yellow life jacket. Activator, obviously flesh here, so brown background, and then flesh highlights. Black for the oxygen mask and the visor. White for the bone dome, the old flying helmet. White gloves as well, and black shoes, obviously. As I say, fairly simple, and just a little bit of a sort of a darkish wash just to bring out some of the highlights. But again, I'm not too worried about the color accuracy or the exact shading, because this is going to be behind plastic, so it's going to be really difficult to see anyway. So it's really just a case of just sort of bringing up some color in there. As you can see, I put in quite a lot of weight there. That's 25 grams. That should be plenty. And now I'm going to just put the crew in their compartment into the aircraft. Then when that's settled down, we can put the other half of the fuselage on, and that's the nose section complete. There we go. There we go. Like so. The 2 fuselage halves go together with some locating pins, and it all clips together very nicely. And this is a common piece for all the versions. The only difference is the cabin area. There's this fillet piece here now that goes in, that goes at the back of the two-seater cockpit area and just sort of blends into the spine of the aircraft, like so. And then the front half of the fuselage, front portion of the fuselage, slots into this assembly here. And looks like I might have to do a little bit of filling here and there, but we'll check it out when the wings go on. And the last thing I'm going to do tonight, before I let everything settle down, is put the canopy on. And you notice I've already masked it for painting. Just using some some Crystal Magic glue from AK to do this. I'll just add a little bit more up here, just to fill in these gaps. The nice thing about Crystal Magic is it actually fills gaps as well as, but it also stays very clear when it does it, hence presumably Crystal Magic. There we go. So we'll put that aside and we'll come back to that tomorrow. Just glue the wings together now. Now there are two joints here. Don't use this one because that's actually for the main gear. So just run some regular glue around here. We'll do the leading edge with extra thin, and then slot the lower half of the wing in. As you can see this, we can just get that down there. Like this. Bit of capillary action through the back there, and that'll be fine. Then the fuselage is set up. We can attach the wings. The tailplane goes in now. These interlock. The tabs on the fitting interlock inside the aircraft, inside the fin. That gives them a good position, but also good support, and they should sit horizontally. In my memory, this aircraft was in all over camouflage, wraparound camouflage. However, I can't find a single photo of XL619 in wraparound camouflage, so I'm going to have to do it with the light aircraft grey underneath. Then I've painted the top in ocean grey, and now I'm going to spray on the dark green, having masked it off with some putty. With the top coat done and varnish added, it's time for some decals. Fuel tanks clip together as halves. Just glue them up. The Hunter was famous for having its serial numbers underside, covering the undercarriage bays, and it's difficult to know which bit of the serial goes on which bit of the undercarriage doors. So what I've done is I've put the undercarriage doors in and just sort of tacked them in with a bit of clear PVA. I've then put the decals on top and just gone round with a very, very sharp knife. And then we can, hopefully, he says, very confidently, can pick off the doors. If you do it very gently, you see the serials come with it. And they're going to be in the right place when they go on. Now for the undercarriage legs, you put the wheel on each leg. They're the same, so it doesn't matter which side gets which. Then you can see there's two pins there, and there's two holes on the inside of the wheel cover, and those need to be glued together. The main wheels can go into the undercarriage bay like so. The outer gear door can go on as well, and this, when it's attached to the main gear door there, will add a bit of strength to the undercarriage. Then we've put the pylons on, and the fuel tanks can go on top. Now the instructions don't allow for these fuel tanks here, these massive fuel tanks to be used, but I seem to remember them at Broady. They're brought in specifically for Broady originally, because Broady is such a long way from any diversion field if the weather gets bad. So I remember them on my flight on 619, so I'm going to put them on anyway. A few extra decals on it, and there it is finished. The HAWKER T Mark 7 in 1/72nd scale from Matchbox. What an absolute delight. There we go, and what a pleasure it was. Apart from the personal connection to the aircraft, it reminded me why I used to build Matchbox kits when I was much, much, much younger. They go together well, and although the surface detail is a bit sparse, it's very well moulded. The plastic's nice, and they make a nice kit. The only downside of being so old is that technology didn't really lend itself to doing very crisp recessed panel lines and things like that. So some of the molds, the parts aren't molded, the edge moldings aren't as sharp as we're used to these days, perhaps. But you know what? Just for a tiny little bit of effort, you can make what I think is a really nice kit of a very lovely aeroplane. Best of all, it just floods me with nostalgia for the days when I used to make these things all the time. So, I love the kit. I love the Hunter. Most of all, I love X-Ray Lima 619 and my memory of flying in it. So, if you've loved the video, and I hope you have, please give it the old Imperial thumbs up on the like button below, because every like counts. And if you haven't done so yet, please do remember, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, doesn't cost you anything, you'll be notified of all my future content, and you'll be supporting the channel. Thank you so very much for watching, hope to see you again soon. Take good care of yourselves now, and goodbye.